God almighty. How was this able to take place and no one else talk about this video? And frankly, I'm ashamed. Not just what happened. The fact that 99% of you aren't going to be able to stomach this. But if you can, I'll show you. Now, if you're like me, whatever you start, you finish. The same thing goes for Ariana Grande. I mean, she mastered that to a T. I mean, it makes sense. She has all these countless records, all these big deals. Not to mention, she is one of the only people that has a personality that people love. Not only talented, but dearly loved. That's hard to find. And everything was going great for her. That was until this happened. Because what just transpired, we could have never prepared for. As of recently, in a video, what we got to see is that she exposed every single person in Hollywood that changes their hair to blonde. But it never made any sense, because why would that be a thing? Why would that matter? I'm more shocked at the hidden meaning behind it all. How she had the guts to try to get rid of an entire industry.
There's brown hair.
Yeah.
Theory is the blonde hair isn't them dyeing their hair blonde. It's a result of going through the procedure. When you dunk your head into the liquid, they go through the memory erasure, or they go through the brainwashing.
Oh my god. I'm just disappointed, Diddy. Not just in you, but the fact that no one else is talking about this video. But I can see why. Because 99% of you aren't going to be able to stomach this. But if you can, I'll show you. Now, Diddy, as we know, is a man of great talent. I mean, it makes sense. He's been in the game for a very long time. Now, the question on everyone's mind is, how is he able to do this for more than 20 years? And had the ability to work alongside one of the greatest people that we've ever seen, Biggie. However, there was controversy that came out because they said that Diddy put a stamp on Biggie's car right before that series of traumatic events took place. Furthermore, what happened years later, he could have never predicted, because they raided his house. But what they found, those tapes, and the question was, were they ever going to set him free? And the answer to that question is the most unsettling thing about this whole video.
I am returning. Morning, my neighbor. As the sun rises, I have an announcement I want you all to hear. I am returning. Yes.
Oh my god. There's no way this just happened and no one else talk about this video. Because what we just witnessed was one of the most horrific things that we've ever seen. To actually expose the simulation, now 99% of you aren't going to be able to stomach this. But if you can, I'll show you. Don't say I didn't warn you. Will Smith, the man that everybody knows because of the fact that he has the ability to be actually funny, to be charismatic, alongside incredible skill. However, we've seen in interviews multiple times when Will Smith says some things that he's not supposed to say. Like, for instance, when he was in that interview and talked about how he believed that public stations were terrible because he felt like the government was putting things inside there. However, everything up until that point was going great for Will. That was until he leaked this. Because none of us could have ever prepared for something this devastating. And you imagine, you believe in something and somebody comes along and tells you that it was wrong this entire time. It would be absolutely devastating. So when Will Smith tried to expose the simulation that we actually live in as a joke, it completely devastated everyone.
Blue screen. In fact, I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. I haven't looked like this good in years. I've been totally computer generated since like the 90s. You know what? This ain't even real blue screen. It's 2019, y'all. Nothing's real.
Oh my god. There's no way this just happened and no one else talk about this video. Because what just transpired was one of the most horrific things that we've ever seen. And frankly, Kim Kardashian, I'm disappointed. Not just in you, but the fact that no one else is talking about this video. But I can see why. Because 99% of you won't be able to stomach this. But if you can, I'll show you. Don't say I didn't warn you. I mean, it's Kim Kardashian. Everyone knows her, especially because of the fact that she got famous off of that tape, that single tape. However, she didn't sit there and let it pass away. She took it and ran with it. Not only got showed, deal, ads, but has become a billionaire off of that situation. Now it's up for debate her mother's involvement in that whole situation, but she's successful. Everything was going good. That was until this happened. Because we're all aware of the circumstances that were surrounding Diddy during that whole situation, with the tapes, with the parties, the celebrities that were involved. However, no one really knows the Kim Kardashian side and what happened at those parties that could single-handedly ruin her career and possibly the same thing that made her famous. God oh my. There's no way that something like this could happen and no one else talk about this video. Because what just transpired is one of the most horrific things that we've ever seen. The sad part, this came out of nowhere. Frankly, 99% of you won't be able to stomach this. But if you can, I'll show you. Don't say I didn't warn you. When was the first time that you've ever seen The Rock? CFL? WWE? Quite possibly in the movies. Regardless, millions of fans, millions of dollars, countless deals. Not to mention he's on his way to being a blockbuster superstar. And it almost seems like nothing could go wrong. However, that would have been the case if this didn't happen. Because as of recently, we've always asked the question, is Dwayne Johnson really like this off the screen? Or is he playing a character just for us to like him while you conjure which is which? The video most recently leaked about Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Not the first time we've heard Dwayne say some crazy stuff. Like for instance that Mad Scientist episode where he has that pedo robot. This is far darker than that. And we might witness something so minuscule can devastate an entire legacy.
What do you eat initially? I eat children. How old are you? Okay, only to 10. Children and pineapple. Sussy bata.
Oh my god. This just happened and no one else is talking about this video. Because what just transpired is one of the most horrific things that we've ever seen. Yet the sad part is that it came out of nowhere. 99% of you won't be able to stomach this. But if you can, I'll show you. Oprah Winfrey. Been in the game for a very long time. Has interviewed the little S tiers of celebrities. Michael Jackson, Tom Cruise. The list goes on, that is until it stops right at Dave Chappelle. We see Oprah Winfrey test limits sometimes with the questions that she asks. Most of the time they're softball questions, easy to answer. But on occasion, asks the hard questions that nobody's willing to ask. However, when Dave Chappelle gave his answer, pretty surprising. Oprah's response revealed more than just answering the question because what she did was actually defend the people that were attacking Dave Chappelle. However, the hidden layer behind this is that oftentimes we know that celebrities, they'll do anything to stay famous. And oftentimes what we see, once they become famous, they have to pay a price. So why did Oprah do this?
I'm not taking this medicine, man, because I know these people be trying to control you. Or maybe discredit you. I was afraid, like,
But you were stressed out. That's
there's
why.
no question. But it's very stressful for someone to constantly walk behind you and say, you're insane. Oh, hey, how about this?
Jesus. Mary and Joseph, there's no way that this just happened and no one else talk about this video. However, the most unfortunate thing is that this came out of nowhere. And I see why, because 99% of you aren't going to be able to stomach this. But if you can, I'll show you. I mean, we're talking about somebody that's done it all. Not to mention his rag to riches story that everybody admires. Starting off with nothing and then progressing into what he is now. A top 5 rapper in most people's eyes. And there's no list out there for best rappers if you don't have Eminem in it. Or something threw people off. Yes, he sits there, writes his own lyric, produces beats, and was creative enough to start his own label. Or is that the case? Because as of recently, people have had this discussion talking about when you take it back to D12, Fuzz, Swifty, Bizarre, Porter, and but Proof. Because odd enough, when you sit there and look at Proof's track record, one of the best of the group, and sad to see when Eminem put out Like Toy Soldiers, literally predicted his best friend's death. What if this whole time, Proof was the mastermind behind everything, and they made Eminem the face? Who do we give credit to now?
Proof. If he got credit for every lyric he wrote for Marshall Mathers, also known as Eminem, because the rap record that Eminem has solely belongs to Proof, who wrote it.